Hi, my name is Verona. I'm from Manchester, England. I'm 33 years old. I work at Young Men's Christian Association. And today I'm going to talk about the environment. Now, when I talk about the environment, most people think I'm going to talk about something green or fossil fuels. Even the Sustainable Development Goals, which the government want to make the world a better place, cleaner for 2020 and furthermore. These things are all great. However, I'm going to talk about something a little bit more abstract, a little bit more interpersonal. You see, when I think about the environment, I think about being resourceful, humanitarian availability. Now, what do I mean by humanitarian availability? It's not a sentence per se, however, it means being able to be resourceful, being interpersonal. You see, the other day, me and my friends had this debate and this argument, and they said, well, Verona, it's a chicken versus the egg argument. I mean, if you don't have a good, clean place to live in this world, you don't have anything. Now, I came up with an argument which I always win. It's no arrogance when I say that, it's just because most people will always be biased towards this argument. It's the little girl with the litter versus the environment as in the context of being green. So let me put that in a metaphor. There's a little girl that goes to school and nursery every day. Her guardian takes her to school. She drops a piece of litter on the floor while she goes to nursery. Now you might say, this is terrible, this is absolutely disgusting. She should know not to put the litter on the floor. However, what if I told you this little girl had a background where 4 of those 5 years, she is 5 years old, have been terrible. She's been through foster care, she's been through the rounds, and no one's taught her about being green. Now, when I put that into a metaphor and I ask the question, which one's more important, the litter or the little girl, most people will always say the little girl. So the environment is just a little bit more than the litter. You see, last week when I woke up, I didn't feel so good. When I say I didn't feel so good, it wasn't necessarily ill per se, I mean psychologically. So I did a bit of research and I found out something called SAD. It's also known as seasonal affective disorder. Seasonal affective disorder affects 12 million people around Europe. However, we still don't quite know what causes this. I mean, scientists haven't really found out really the answer. We know that it does affect the hypothalamic layers within the brain, and also it affects our mood and appetite. So subjectively, we know that the environment does affect our mood and our appetite. Now, if we go further into different examples of the education sector, for example, we know that Oxford only takes 20% of potential offers. Well, you might say, well, Verona, that's fair. I mean, not everybody can go into university. I mean, if everyone was from hierarchy, then there wouldn't be any entry-level jobs. We need people to do the entry-level jobs. I used to think this way. However, what if I told you 11.3% of that 20% were from disadvantaged backgrounds and were less likely to get an offer? Now, it doesn't seem so fair now, does it? You see, when we look about the environment, we need to say and be honest with ourselves. Are we being resourceful? And the fact of, are we being honest and transparent? Are we giving people the chances of availabilities? Even looking throughout the argument, if I could go through other sectors, we can look at the housing sector. Costs around 900,000 in the UK versus Canada. counterpart of $455,000. So what does that mean? When we look at the availability there, I mean, it's subjective. However, the numbers just don't match up of differential. Maslow's law teaches that we should always have a basis of foundation for housing. However, this is not always the case. Right now, YMCA of Young Men's Christians Association have many hostels around the world to battle homelessness for young people. We'll have a 90 million investment from sponsors around the world and counting for a place we call Land Aid House. That will be set up in Errol Street for all young people across the world and especially in London. Now, you might not agree with my argument, you may not ever agree. However, one question you need to ask yourself is, have you been available, and what have you done to change your environment? Thank you.